Well, good morning. I want to talk about financing our future. Financing our future. You know, it's a bad thing, and it's bad to get to a place where you need only to find out that you don't have. You know, sometimes it could be a funeral, could be a natural disaster, could be a new birth, could be the wedding of your first or your only daughter. And there are those things that are expected, and then there's those things that are unexpected. But being prepared provides comfort and allows us to survive and enjoy the moment. You know, if America is indeed the land of the free, the land of opportunity, and I believe that it is, then why are there so many people living at or below the poverty level? In other words, why are there so many people either broke or at best barely eking out a living? I mean, if everybody else out there, if they got theirs, why don't I have mine? And if they have so much, why do I have so little? This is my take, so don't hate. You already know the drill. No hating allowed. Well, good Thursday morning. Welcome to another episode of my take on this first Thursday of November. Man, a nice chilly morning, November the 4th, 2021. And what a blessing it is to be here today. Well, I got to give you a disclaimer. I am not a financial expert, and I don't even play one on TV. But I believe that I bumped my financial head enough that I believe that you can be helped by some of the practical, personal thoughts based on my own experiences. You know, and I may, occasionally advise you on a couple of things, and you can take it for whatever it's worth to you. But I'm certainly no financial advisor. I'm not. Trust me, I am not. You know, and as I speak, I suppose I'm speaking as much to myself as I am to anyone else. I'm trying to learn just as I'm trying to teach you. As a matter of fact, I may be speaking more to myself. Let me tell you something up front. I'm not here to debate and discuss all things that we consider are more important than money. I'm not here to demonize money. I'm not debating what you will need in heaven or in hell or wherever you think you're going when you leave here. But we already know we're leaving here. We're getting up out of here one way or the other. And I'm not going to argue with you about, what you need to be religious. I'm not even going there. I'm here to talk about money, money. I'm here to talk about money, having it and not having it, and how it can be a blessing to us, but keeping in mind that can also be a curse to us. All right? Are you with me so far? You still with me? All right, good. But I need to caution you. If you have an aversion to money or even a conversation about money, this message, this time together may not be for you today. I think it's important to give thought about today and how we live, and about tomorrow and how we may live then. And I know, trust me, I'm very well aware that we may not see tomorrow. There are some folks that always talk about, well, we may not live to see retirement. We may not live to see this or that. Well, as far as I'm concerned, by God's grace, I am expecting to see tomorrow. I'm expecting to see and enjoy retirement. I am. I don't know about you, but I am. And secondly, if I do see tomorrow, if I do see retirement, I want to be ready when it gets here. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And then, on the other hand, I'm not so selfish and self-centered that I only think of myself. There are family members, there are friends, there is my church, there is my community, and there is my country. And I'm not just living for myself. Neither should you be. I'm living for them as well as I'm living for myself. So with that being said, let's dive in for today. I mean, there's no doubt, America as we know it was built, or maybe I should say rebuilt. Yeah, let me say that, rebuilt on opportunity and people taking advantage of those opportunities. But I need to tell you something, that wherever there are opportunities, there are risks involved. Wherever there are opportunities, there are risks involved. And some of us are just really afraid to take risks. And I'm all for not taking unnecessary risk. But then how do you determine what's necessary or what isn't? I think maybe when it falls into the category of reckless and irresponsible, then it may be time to call it unnecessary or foolish risk. Okay? And I'm not about to tell you that you will become rich. And I'm not about to tell you that you are supposed to be rich. And I know sometimes people talk like that. Yeah, we are all supposed to be rich. Well, I don't know about that. But I do believe in possibilities. And I believe that anyone can become rich if God graces you with such, or if that is your goal in life, or if that is that happens to be your good fortune. I believe that it can happen, that there's a possibility. And some people become rich who never thought about ever being rich. And then there are those who think about becoming rich night and day, all the time, but never reach that level financially. Okay? So I mean, it can work either way. And there are countless, there are numerous ways, I should say, that we can become wealthy or we can become rich. Some that are honest and honorable, and then there are some that are not so honest or honorable. However, getting rich is neither the topic nor the goal of this conversation. That's not what I'm here to talk about. What I would like, what I want, what I desire, I just want to see us live better and be better off for today and for tomorrow. What I want for each of us is financial security. I want to live well now, and I want my descendants to live even better. I want them to live well, but even better than I'm living today. And and I want to leave my family in a better position to live well. I want to leave my community, my church, and my country. I want to leave them better than when I found them, better than when I arrived on the scene, if you will. It's reported that Augustus said, "I found Rome a city of bricks or of clay, and left Rome a city of marble." And I think that was just another way, if he did indeed say it, of saying that he left it better off. It's something that I do know. I know for sure that we can all do better. We can do better than we are. We can be better than we are, and we should. We should aspire to do better and be better. I don't consider myself born in poverty. I won't go that far. But I was certainly in the neighborhood. I may not have been in poverty, but I was right down the street from it. And some are born into poverty, and others found a way to grow into poverty. I've been broke enough to know that I don't like being broke. And I've had enough money to know that I appreciate having money. I've been in financial chaos enough to know that I prefer living at financial peace. I prefer living comfortably. Anybody out there hearing me? Are you feeling me? I mean, anybody besides me wants financial peace, financial stability, financial security? Yes. The fact is that there are things that you can do with money that you can't do without money. And there are things that we can have with money that we will never have without money. And I know that, money is not everything, but it is something. And money itself is really neutral. It can be good and it can be bad for us, depending on our attitude towards money and depending on how we get it and how we use it. Money is not the problem. It's the love of money that we need to avoid. Loving and lusting after money or riches will cause us to do some immoral things. It will cause us to do some illegal things, and it could cause us to do some ungodly things to have it and to hold it. Are you hearing me? So don't be cursing money. It's all about how we use it, how we see it. And, but I believe that we should learn to appreciate money. That we should be financially responsible, and we should learn how to honestly earn our keep. We should learn to use and manage money well, and we should learn to live on whatever money that we have. Listen, I don't believe that poverty and lack are our lot in life. I ain't buying that. There's a better life for us. That's what I believe. And having money is a big part of life being better. It is. Much of our misfortunes, if you will, are caused by us, not by anyone else. We can blame and we can complain all we want, but the culprit is likely to be the one in the mirror. Okay, so from my own experiences, and whatever knowledge and whatever wisdom I've picked up along the way, I want to share for your consideration. And all of us, every last one of us, we have our story, but I'm going to give you a little bit of mine, okay? And like anything else, sometimes I slip. Sometimes I backslide, and sometimes I make honest mistakes. Sometimes I make honest miscalculations and lose when my goal was to gain. So I don't always win in that sense. Sometimes the risk doesn't pay off in dollars, but it does pay off in knowledge and wisdom. In other words, regardless of which way it goes, I learned something. So let's begin by asking a few questions. Do you want to be made whole financially? Do you want more money? Can you handle more money? Do you want a better life for you and your family? Let me ask you something else. Are you tired of begging and straining and stressing to make ends meet? Are you sick and tired of having more month left at the end of your money? And would you like to have more money left at the end of your month? Sign me up. I would. Hallelujah. Amen. So I want to talk about a few things. I want to give you a few thoughts, 10 as a matter of fact. I want to give you 10 thoughts that are really, based on things that I've learned, based on my experiences. And I want to make it very clear that I have not arrived. I am still learning. I'm still growing, and I'm grateful for that. I'm still developing. So I am by any stretch of the imagination arrived. But I'm grateful for where I am. I'm grateful for where I have come from and how I've been able to develop and grow over the years. And I believe that I have become better. And I believe that I am doing better. And I believe that I am better off. Okay? So I want to share 10 things with you that I believe can be a blessing to you, that can be a help to you in financing our future. Now, when I talk about financing our future, what I'm talking about is not only living for today, but also living for tomorrow. And I understand that argument, but we may not see tomorrow. But what if you do? You may not live to see 60 years of age, but what if you do? You may not live to see 80 years of age, but what if you do? I don't believe that you want to get to that point and find out that you don't have enough to live on. I don't believe you want to get to that point and find out that you got to beg, borrow, or steal. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So, excuse me. So let me share with you just 10 thoughts from my own experiences, from knowledge and wisdom that I've picked up along the way, from things that I've learned from other people that I have learned from. And I'm grateful for what people have taught me, what I've learned from people. It's been such a blessing to me. And the first thing I want to say to you is this. We got to create the right atmosphere. We got to create the right environment. So first of all, let me say, establish and maintain a good relationship with money. Establish and maintain a good relationship with money, and establish and maintain a good relationship with the good life. Are you hearing me? Establish and maintain a good relationship with peace and with comfort. Yeah, no financially caused stress, no financially caused strain. And, I'm always noticing and taking note of what other people are doing and, the things that I see that may be helping them. Then I try to learn from it. I try to learn from it every day, all day long. I try to make sure that I'm aware of what's going on around me. And when I see good in people, when I see success in people, I want to know how they got there. I want to know how they did it because I want, not necessarily the same thing that they have, but I want to have success in life. I want to be effective in what I do in life. I want to live comfortably. I want to have what I need. I don't want to get to that place where something comes up and I have a need but don't have the resources to meet that need. I don't want to be there. I want to have what I need. And in some cases, I want to have what I want. I want to be able to, what they call it, splurge. I guess that's what it is. I want to be able to splurge every now and then. So, a couple of things that I've learned as I watch other people and watch how they navigate through life. Not people that are necessarily rich, but people that are, how do I say it? Let's call it creative. People that are creative, that have decided, I'm not just going to crawl in a corner and cry my eyeballs out. I'm going to do something about my situation. So I've learned from others. Let me share three things that I've learned from others. And one is that always have something, keep something on hand that you can liquidate and generate cash. If you don't have cash, you don't have something that you can quickly, when needed, exchange for cash, that you ought to be able to liquidate it. Or you hear me? You ought to have something around. And I've tried to do that in recent years of my life. I've tried to make sure that I have something, that I can sell, that I can trade when I need to liquidate something, when I need cash. Because sometimes, whatever you have, cash is more important than what you have, because what you need the cash for is more important than what you might have. So I've learned from other people and learned from experiences that always have something that you can liquidate. That, some of you are well acquainted with pawn shops. I don't frequent pawn shops that much. I do go in sometimes look for something to buy. But, my early years, I was going in there looking for something to sell, to get some money. So always have something that you can liquidate if you need it. Okay? But even then, you need to use wisdom, because you don't want to get rid of something that you're going to need later and that you're going to end up paying more for later. Okay? That's going to, that just defeats the purpose. Okay? So, and then one of the other things that I've learned is that always have a skill. Always have a skill. Always have something that you can do, that you can work, that you can have a skill or the means to make an honest living. Make sure that you can do something. And you ought to be versatile, because you never know when you may have to do something different, or when you may have to do something differently. So be versatile. Always have a skill, a way or means of making an honest living. And then always have something left in the nest. Always have something left. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. But you don't ever want to give your last. Again, I get to that one a little bit later. But you don't want to give out. You don't want to give your last. Okay? Become well acquainted and appreciate the good life, so to speak. But then secondly, I want to share this thought with you. Become a contributor and not just a consumer. Now, there are times that we are consumers. Yeah, I get that. But I prefer to be a contributor. I prefer to be in a position where I can give rather than I need. Don't just be a consumer that sucks up everything around you, but be a contributor. Be a lender and not just a borrower. Are you hearing me? So become a contributor. Just Just make up your mind that I am going to contribute in life. I am going to be a giver. I am going to contribute and refuse to be a beggar, refuse to be a burden on anyone, refuse to be a burden on society. Hold your own and help someone else hold their own. Support your family, support your community, support your church, and support your country. Then thirdly, establish and maintain good credit. Establish and maintain good credit. I'm learning about this new credit thing because I don't have credit. I don't have credit. But no credit is bad credit. I found that out. No credit is terrible credit. And too much credit is terrible credit. I don't know. You got to have to fall in the middle of that somewhere, I suppose. But I don't have credit. I don't owe people. I don't owe anyone. And I haven't had credit for years, probably 25 years or so. So I don't owe people like that. But a couple of years ago, I had this thought, because all the cars I buy, all the trucks I buy, always used, always something older. I won't say old, but older. And so I had this thought, maybe I want to buy me a new car. So I began to look into it, and I knew I didn't want payments, but I said, maybe I'll bite the bullet, so to speak, and go ahead and get me a new truck. I drive old cars all the time, old trucks. Everything I got is used, got 200, 300,000 miles on it. And so I checked just to see, where I stood and see what the payments would be and all that. And so here's what they told me. Says, we're not going to be able to extend you any credit because you don't have any credit. I said, I know that. I thought that was a good thing. No, I don't have any credit. It's not that I have bad credit. I don't have any credit. But I found out no credit is bad credit. And too much, obviously too much credit is bad credit. So on one hand, debt is something that we need short term, and on the other hand, it's something that we can do without. We don't really need it, okay? But in today's society, much is based, when you try to buy something, whether you're trying to buy a house, a vehicle, or whatever it may be, much of it depends on what they call now your credit score. Your credit score. And I think, I don't really know what a good credit score is. I think about 700 or 800, something like that. I don't know. Mine is probably around 100 or 200. I don't know. I don't care. I really am not trying to get in debt. But especially for younger people, as you navigate through life, there are times that you may have to have credit, in order to buy a home, to buy a vehicle, or whatever. So that's a good thing. But make sure that you pay your bills on time and pay them consistently. One of the other things that I found out is that it doesn't help to pay things off in advance. What helps is paying them on schedule, paying them consistently. And sometimes we think we're doing good by running down there, giving them all of our money, giving them our last dime. Man, I got that paid off. That didn't help you. That hurt you. What they're looking for is an established track record, established history of paying consistently and paying on schedule. Okay, so work that out with your credit. I'm not trying to get in debt myself, but work that out. So I believe in saving and then buying whatever I want for cash. Or I do, pay on time sometimes, layaway or something like that. And maybe that's a form of debt too, I guess, which is okay. But yeah, I'll do that sometimes. I go and say, well, how about I put this down on it and then I'll pick it up next week or something like that. But otherwise, I don't have credit and ain't really trying to get it right now. At this stage in my life, don't care, okay? But you ought to care because you may be at a place where you may need it. And watch that credit score thing, because one of the things that credit score, when you look at the credit score, it's associated with risk. And risk determines the penalty or I call it penalty, or the interest that we pay on when we're buying on credit. I mean, you really have to watch it because it's tricky. Because you pay more for bad credit and it affects those who can least afford it. I mean, why are you telling me to pay more when I've already demonstrated to you I can barely pay what I'm paying? That doesn't make sense. But that's society. So be ready. All right, number four. Don't just spend, but invest. Don't just spend, but invest. Don't just work for money. Make money work for you. But investing is risky business now. So do your homework before deciding where to put your money or how to use your money. Do your homework. Check it out, okay? Because it can work against you. It's risky business, all right? Then, let me rush on because I know your tolerance level is about to reach its max right now. Number 5, and this is one of the things that I really try to hold fast to, is pay yourself before paying anyone else. Pay yourself before paying anyone else. What do you mean by that? Well, as far as I'm concerned, you are your most important creditor. Listen, you don't have to save much, but at least save some. Save purposely and save with purpose and save consistently. Are you hearing me? So pay yourself before paying anybody else. When you sit down working out your budget, and I'm not going to get into that, but make sure you do have a budget. Maybe we'll talk about that one at another time. But have a budget. No matter where you are, what kind of money you have or don't have, you need a budget. Okay? But saving is a big part of your budget. Pay yourself. Put something aside for yourself. Okay? Now, then, having said that, look at number 6. Give generously without, watch what I'm saying, give generously without running out. Because if you run out, that's carelessness. That's likely mismanagement. But give generously. Give generously. You know, one of the things that I established at our church when I first came to First Baptist Church 23 plus years ago is that, and we were not in good financial condition. I don't mind telling you, just about everybody engaged with knows our business anyway, but yeah, we're grateful where God has brought us to and where he brought us from. But we were not in a good place financially. But one of the things that I established from the very beginning is that we would continue to give, that we would continue to help people, that we would continue to contribute to causes. So we gave, we supported, we helped, and we never stopped to this day. We still give, we still help, we still contribute, because I believe that's what we ought to do. We ought to be givers without giving out. Now, let me give you an example. If I happen to help you with your rent, for example, I'm not going to find myself getting put out of my place because I can't pay my rent. Are you hearing me? I'm going to give, and I'm going to give generously, but I'm not going to give out. I'm not running out, because that would be irresponsible. That's carelessness. That's mismanagement. And that's not a good thing. But I believe in giving. I believe in supporting. And I just believe that ought to be a part of what we do. So give, but use wisdom in giving. But do your best to develop a giving spirit. Now, I don't give to everything, and I don't give to everybody. I don't give to every cause, whatever, so-called cause. I don't. I pick and choose to whom I give and to what I give. That's me. Now, you make your decision yourself. But there's some people that, in some causes, that I won't help, that I won't contribute to. And I think that's my right. That's my prerogative. All right? So, and that's the choice that I make. All right? Then, number 7. We're almost there. Hang on. We're almost there. Don't quit now. Get lunch later. Or breakfast, I guess. Get breakfast later. Come on. You can hang in there a few more minutes. Number 7. Keep your financial situation in view. Monitor and assess your situation at all times. I mean, make that a regular part of what you do. whatever, on whatever basis, weekly or monthly. But just make sure that you keep your financial situation in view. Make sure that you know where you are. You don't want to get to a place where you find out or you discover, well, how did I get here? How did I get in this shape? How in the world did I get to this place where I am? Okay, so monitor. Keep your financial situation in view and keep it on top of the table and not under the table, okay? Let me say it this way. Keep your financial situation where you can see it. Keep it where you can monitor how it's going, the ups, the downs, the swings here, the swings there. Assess it as you go and adjust as needed, okay? Not long ago, I discovered something, and more than likely, there are many of you out there who, and this is just one example, just one example. Many of you out there have storage space, where you got something in storage somewhere, and you're paying storage, and over the years I've had cars, and I won't get into that whole story, but one of the things that I've discovered is that certain people don't need to own certain things. and what I've discovered is that if you don't have a place to keep the kind of cars that I've had and that I do have, if you don't have a place to keep them, you don't need them. You don't need them. And so, I realized that every month, I'm paying storage. And I'm like, this is like paying rent on cars. It's like paying rent on cars. And I wish I had never done it. But I sat down one day and I calculated how much money I had spent on storage and storing my vehicles. I sat down, and I've had vehicles in storage, I guess, for the last 20, 25 years. But I based it on how much I was paying per month, and then how much I had paid over the last 10 years. And you know what happened? Oh, man, it was an eye-opener. For 10 years, and I've had cars in storage for the last probably 25 years, but I only calculated 10 years. And I discovered, come a little closer because I don't want everybody to hear this. Come on, a little closer. I don't want this to get out. Don't you tell anybody. I discovered that I had spent over on storage. That canceled whatever value I had built in those vehicles. I had bought them over and over again because I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't looking at it. I'm just paying it, I'm just paying it every month. I was not monitoring that situation. Or I would have realized, wait a minute, hold up. There's something wrong here. And I guarantee you, there are many of you out there who have storage places and you have stuff stored in there. And I'm not putting your stuff down now. You may have some valuables. But if it was that valuable, it wouldn't be in a storage facility. So I'm going to go ahead and go there. You got stuff in there that's not nearly worth what you're paying to keep it there every month. You can give that stuff away, save that money, and go out and buy you some new stuff that's even more valuable. All right? Wait a minute. Don't get mad at me just because I'm bringing it to your attention. It hurt me. When I looked at it, I'm like, gang, 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 what's wrong with you, man? Trust me, I have taken steps to correct that situation. I guarantee you, I have taken steps to correct that situation. Listen, my friend, I have to look at it. What am I spending it on? Why am I spending the money? Am I losing or am I winning? All right, now, number 8. We're almost there. Number 8. Never give your last. Never give in all your giving, and I believe in giving, but never give your last. I am not giving my last. Now, I give my last to God because God knows how to bless. I'm not giving my last to you. No, you will not hear me say, I gave them my last dime. Nope. If my last dime, I'm keeping it. I am not, I may divide it, 9 other ways and give each one of y'all a penny, but I'm keeping a penny. I am not, hear me again, I am not giving anyone my last. And I am not spending my last. No, you won't hear me say it. I spent my last. Nope, not me. I am not spending my last, and I am not giving my last. Now, if I don't give my last, and if I don't spend my last, then I'm always assured of having something. I always got something. Let me give you an example. Remember that candy bar, that soda pop? Remember back in the day when we were younger, probably still feel the same way, even as adults and old folk. Remember the days, you had that candy bar and you have that soda pop, and somebody would ask, let me have a bite. And you were okay with that. You didn't mind sharing. You let them have a bite. Let me have a swallow. That's fine. You let them have a swallow. But don't ask for my last bite, and don't ask for my last swallow. I am not giving anyone my last. Are you hearing me? All right, now, number 9. Leave something for somebody, even if there is nobody. Even if you don't have children, if you don't have anyone to leave it to, so to speak, you can still leave it for a cause. You can still, I guess, and I'm not, up to all these financial terms, but I think, you can put some things in a trust for somebody. You can establish a foundation where you continue to support causes. You can choose whatever cause you want to support. You can leave it to your church. You can leave it to your, what they call favorite charity, whatever the case might be. Leave something even if there's nobody to leave it to or to leave it with. Leave something for somebody, even if there is nobody. Okay? Recently someone called me and said to me, you know what, I don't have any family, and this was a relative that said, I don't have any other family, I don't have any children, and when I'm gone, I don't have anything to leave things to, and all of that. And they said this to me, and I was grateful for it, and so appreciative, and I would be responsible in that situation. I want you to have this, and I want to leave this to you. When I'm gone, I want you to have this. I want you to do that for me and take care of this for me, and so forth. And I'm only too glad to do that. I think that's a huge responsibility, and I'm glad to do it. So even when you don't have anybody to leave it to, leave something. Okay, we're finally there. Number 10. Number 10. We're finally there. Don't spend your life or use your energy complaining about what you don't have. Don't spend your life, don't use your life, your energy, complaining about what you don't have. Focus on what you do have and be grateful that, as the old folks say, be grateful that things are as well as they are. Stop your complaining. Keep a positive attitude while climbing higher, higher, and higher. Now that's my take. What do you have to say? Come on, sound off. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.